All right, y'all. We are back with another video and say it ain't so. Now, we did see what Donald Trump and Vivek did the other night, man, on stage in New Hampshire. I mean, the crowd just went crazy. I mean, they went crazy. They were chanting VP for Vivek, wanting Trump to pick Vivek as his vice president. I mean, I'm all for it. I've said this before that I did prefer Tucker Carlson, but I did say I like Vivek as well. I did say I like Carrie Lake, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, you got a lot of good ones. And then come across this one from Doug. Once again, shout out to Doug for always keeping us up to date with everything going on. I will leave the original video in the description. Make sure y'all go over there and show Doug some love, all right? And he said that she's a killer. Trump has Elise Stefanik's loyalty. Now, a lot of people said that Elise Stefanik would be a good vice president for Donald Trump. If y'all think Elise Stefanik would be a good vice president for Donald Trump, let me know in the comment section. What do y'all think about this? I'm all for it. I like Elise Stefanik. So if Trump was to choose her, I'm all for that as well. I'm all for it as well. And like I said, let's dive straight to it. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Like I said, the more y'all hit that like button, this video will get out there and more people will see my reaction. And that right there is what helped the channel grow. I appreciate everybody that supports this channel. I appreciate everybody that watches the video from beginning to end. Because like I said, it helps put the message out there and it literally helps me out a whole lot. And please hit that like button, especially if you like Trump and Elise Stefanik for his vice president. Hit that like button for me, all right? Without further ado, let's dive straight to it, man. Let's dive in. Let's go.
VP, get used to that because I believe that's who Trump has picked.
Whoa.
I'm going to make the case for it, not only for why I believe Trump picked her, but why I believe she's revealing that she's been picked and why she is an impressive, the best candidate for vice president. Let me make my case. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug TenNapel. This is where the happy patriots are. Let's go. First, NBC, quote, she's a killer. Trump eyes Rep. Elise Stefanik as a potential VP pick. There she is. The former president has spoken highly of New York Congresswoman, and his allies say she's high on the list of vice presidential prospects. Now, I do believe Trump has not told anyone. I believe he has only told Elise. That's when Rep. Elise Stefanik, the hard-charging upstate New York Republican, came up, according to a person at the dinner table. So this is about a private dinner about Elise Stefanik. Attendees around Trump raved about her viral moment just weeks before, when she grilled 3 university presidents at a congressional hearing about anti-Semitism on campus. So I have to show you this footage. This is her grilling Claudine Gay, diversity hire pick to be the president of Harvard.
Our commitment to
It's a yes or no question. Is that corrected? Is that okay for students to call for the mass murder of African Americans at Harvard? Is that protected free speech?
Our commitment to free speech.
It's a yes or no question.
She knows how to talk back to these liberal apparatchiks. You shut them down. Just watch this, how Stefanik, how well she will be able to navigate the postmodern, woke, BS language where they make you feel like you're going to human resources. She turns it around and just snaps it off at her.
What action has been taken against students who are harassing and calling for the genocide of Jews on Harvard's campus?
I know that over the last couple of months, there has been an alarming rise of anti-Semitism, which I understand is the critical topic that we are here to discuss.
That's correct. It is anti-Jewish hate crimes. And Harvard ranks the lowest when it comes to protecting Jewish students. This is why I've called for your resignation, and your testimony today, not being able to answer with moral clarity, speaks volumes. I yield back.
And she resigned. She's no longer the president of Harvard. Elise Stefanik, 39-year-old kid from New York.
But she ain't playing.
She's impressive. Can you imagine her having a vice presidential debate with Kamala Harris? Oh, it would be horrible.
I love to see it.
It would be a bloodbath.
Yes, it
At
will.
the thought of Stefanik as a possible choice of vice president, Trump nodded approvingly at this dinner. She's a killer, Trump said, according to the person at the event. Ever since then, Trump and a growing group of allies have started to look more closely at Stefanik as a running mate, according to 8 people familiar with the matter, including people in Trump's orbit, Stefanik fundraising bundlers, and former Trump administration officials. So they're all coming to the same conclusion. That's why I'm calling it now. At the time, the 39-year-old Congresswoman was at the crest of a wave of national publicity after taking the top leaders of Harvard, the University of Pennsylvania, and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Their answers to the question, does calling for the genocide of Jews violate your college's rules of bullying and harassment, eventually resulted in 2 of them resigning and brought a firestorm of criticism on the schools. She changed academia forever. One person, 39-year-old woman. But Stefanik
39
was on
years
Trump's
old.
radar long before that hearing,
Okay.
because she possesses one of the key attributes he's looking for in a 2024 running mate: loyalty. That, mixed with her ability to drive the news on key issues, may be the irresistible mix for a vice presidential pick. Stefanik is at the top, said Steve Bannon, who was Trump's chief strategist in the White House and architect of his 2016 strategy. On Wednesday, after the story was published, Stefanik announced she would be campaigning with Trump in New Hampshire. He's taking her for a trial run.
Oh,
and of course, she's been by his side in many campaign events. But he really needs New Hampshire.
He do.
And she's the girl who's going to help him go against Haley, who's top tier threat in New Hampshire, and Trump's going to stomp her.
Nikki Haley will never secure the border. She doesn't believe in these secure borders. She can't believe in them. She actually opposed my border wall, and she was out of all of a sudden she's opposing the wall. I say, what the hell is going on? She's actually opposing it because she's basically, as you see, when you have all of those Democrats coming in to vote, I don't know that she's a Democrat, but she's very close. She's far too close for you. She condemned the things we were doing with the wall, and yet we had the greatest border, the safest border we've ever had. 2016, she stabbed the Republican Party in the back by siding with Barack Hussein Obama.
She's come a long way.
You heard what he said. Let's take that back. Listen to what Donald Trump just said that Nikki Haley did. A lot of people have been saying that this woman is really a Democrat because she act like it. Check this out.
Coming in to vote. I don't know that she's a Democrat, but she's very close. She's far too close for you. She condemned the things we were doing with the wall, and yet we had the greatest border, the safest border we've ever had. 2016, she stabbed the Republican Party in the back by siding with Barack Hussein Obama.
She's come a
Stabbed the Republican Party in the back to be on the same side as Barack Obama. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, man. Elise Stefanik, I mean, her demeanor, the way she just talk and speak, she don't play around. You see what just happened to Claudine Gay? She's gone. This woman right here, I can see the reason why Trump named this title. She's a killer because she do not play around. I would love for Elise Stefanik to be his vice president. And I know it's so many of them. But if we only talking like everybody that's been talked about, which has been Tucker, Vivek, and now Elise Stefanik. And I believe taking her to New Hampshire is a big deal because I believe Elise is going to kill it. She's going to get on that microphone and she's going to go off. I believe in Elise Stefanik. I believe she's going to do it. But we shall see. I ain't going to say he didn't drop Vivek because we don't know. But Trump said that he already then chose who his vice president is going to be. Could it be Elise Stefanik he was talking about? Could it be Vivek? We don't know.
long way. And now she's really, really with us. Trump said during a lunch in the spring of 22, according to a source familiar with his comments, adding, she was kind of with us before, but she's really with us now.
Yep.
Stefanik declined to comment on whether she would be interested in being President Trump's running mate, telling NBC News that she was focusing on her role in Congress, which is what you'd say if you were picked. Quote, I'm not going to get into any of my conversations with President Trump. I'm honored to call him a friend. I'm proud to be the first member of Congress to have endorsed his reelection, and he had a huge win in Iowa. So we're very excited about that, she said. She was first to endorse Trump.
Yeah.
I think she knew then.
Yeah.
Here she is on Meet the Press Watch this. This is what separates her from a Mike Pence.
Would you vote to certify, and will you vote to certify the results of the 2024 election, no matter what they show?
Well, I voted not to certify the state of Pennsylvania because, as we saw in Pennsylvania and other states across the country, that there was unconstitutional acts circumventing the state legislature and unilaterally changing election law.
What about 2024? What about 2024?
We will see if this is a legal and valid election. What we're seeing so far is that Democrats are so desperate, they're trying to remove President Trump from the ballot. That is a suppression of the American people, and the Supreme Court is taking that case up in February. That should be a 9-0 to allow President Trump to appear on the ballot, because that's the American people's decision to make this November.
She's making the winning argument here that the real problem with the election was that they unconstitutionally changed the rules long before the election, not what happened on election night, if you know what I mean.
The matter is, of course, halted pending that appeal, as you say. But just to be very clear, I don't hear you committed to certifying the election results. Will you only commit to certify the results if former President Trump wins? Does that mean if former President Trump wins?
No, it means if they are constitutional. What we saw in 2020 was unconstitutional circumventing of the Constitution, not going through state legislatures when it comes to changing election law. And we're seeing this in my home state of New York, Kristen. We are seeing Democrats try to steal the election and illegally gerrymander congressional districts that we fairly won and are fair line. So I see this at a very local level, as well as the unconstitutional overreach we saw at the national level in 2020.
Boom. She just made...
Hey, boy, I'm going to tell you right now, boy, Christian don't be trying to cut her off so bad. Like, you could just listen to him. When she started making a lot of sense, and she's taking up for Donald Trump. She said, hey, look what these Democrats are trying to do. They're trying to keep Donald Trump off ballots. They're trying to cheat their way to a victory. That's exactly what they're trying to do, trying to cheat their way to a victory. And it's just unconstitutional. If you're going to try to beat Donald Trump fair and square. Stop trying to cheat. Stop trying to get them kicked off ballots because you can't beat them. And you got old corrupted Joe, don't know what he's doing. But we obviously know that they're trying to cheat Donald Trump. They're trying to kick him off ballots, trying to get this man put in jail, trying to take money from him. They're trying to do everything they can to steal this election. We ain't going for it because we know what they're trying to do. Even Elise know what they're trying to do. I mean, I just love her demeanor, man, the way she's talking and stuff like that. She ain't playing around. Let's keep it going.
The best case for Trump, and wait till you see what she's doing in New York, because she's been hitting Jack Smith. Stefanik's loyalty is out in the open, including in an interview this month with NBC's Meet the Press. And it's a stark contrast with Mike Pence, who became a target of Trump and his supporters after he refused to go along with Trump's plan to deny Joe Biden's 2020 presidential election victory. Stefanik, on the other hand, has been known for years in Congress as one of the lead crusaders defending Trump. She served on Trump's impeachment defense team in 2019 and backed his efforts to overturn the 2020 election that led to January 6th attack on the Capitol. Quote, well, I, of course, would be honored to serve in any capacity in the Trump administration, Stefanik said. Stefanik also attracted attention for the interview when she echoed the president's language, calling January 6 defendants hostages. She is agreeing with him on his terms. On Wednesday, Rep. Dan Goldman, Democrat New York, announced he would file a resolution to censure Stefanik, a move that could make her even more popular with Trump's base. And it's true. This was yesterday.
A few hours ago, New York Democratic Congressman Daniel Goldman introduced a resolution to censure his fellow New Yorker, the fourth most powerful Republican in the House, Elise Stefanik, for comments like this one.
Do you think that the people who stormed the Capitol should be held responsible to the full extent of the law?
I have concerns about the treatment of January 6 hostages. I have concerns. We have a role in Congress of oversight over our treatments of prisoners.
Hostages. She called them hostages.
In this display of allegiance, including her refusal to certify an unconstitutional presidential election in 2020 and potentially in 2024, that showcased the New York representative's skill at seizing moments to advance Trump's interests and dispatch his enemies, and have apparently vaulted her ahead of the competition. That is according to woke media. The December dinner wasn't the first time that Trump brought up Stefanik, both as a loyal confidant and a possible VP candidate, according to another person who has attended past events involving both of them. Quote, what Trump has consistently remarked about is how good she'd be as a VP, this person explained. So Trump's already privately been talking about her as VP and your next president after Trump. Trump has long talked about Stefanik's prospects for higher office, telling attendees at a Mar-a-Lago fundraiser 2 years ago, attending by Stefanik, after 2024, she could be the next president, confirmed the chairman of Conservative Party of New York State, Jerry Gassar. So Trump is serious about setting her up for the next win, about her being an incredibly powerful ally. In recent months, Stefanik has gone after the presidential judge in the New York civil fraud case against Trump. Good. Called the Attorney General Merrick Garland to investigate the former president's fixer, Michael Cohen, and filed a complaint against the federal judge who supervised the grand jury for special counsel Jack Smith's indictment of Trump. So she's also hitting Jack Smith. Trump needs an ally in New York. She could also reverse that whole order that's kicking his business out of New York. Stefanik brings obviously incredible talents by many levels from the House and knowing how to defend President Trump and the MAGA movement, Bannon said. And most importantly, she knows how to play what I call the unforgiving moment, when you have to make that decision and go all in, because the woke monsters will never forgive Elise Stefanik for throwing in with Trump. So she's all in, and I believe he's already picked her. Trump already says he has picked his vice president. I believe he's already picked her. Of course, you won't find out until the convention this summer. I'm Doug in.
Shout out to Doug. And I agree. You know, after watching this, I can be like, oh, I don't know about it. Will he pick Vivek? I wouldn't leave the door closed on it. But, I mean, when you look at it, it's like, at least Stefanik, like, he might already chose her. Because, like I said before, he did say the other night that he have already chosen his vice president, but he didn't want to say who it was. But to me, it's kind of sounding like Elise Stefanik. To me. Now, you know, we all said that we'll like Tucker Carlson. We don't know if he will do it or not. Some of us said Vivek. I mean, Byron Donalds. I mean, it's a good bit of them, but Elise Stefanik is starting to kind of stand out. So we shall see. But y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about all of this. And who do y'all think Donald Trump should pick as vice president? Thank you, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.